Alrighty. Aqua is already showing up on the main menu, even though it should be Ven or Terra, because I already played some Aqua.
Wow.
So it'll have been quite a while ago by the time this episode comes out, but I did a stream that was hosted yesterday called the Emergency Birth by Sleep stream, where I scrambled to replay Terra on Proud mode so that we could do all the endgame stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's not gonna matter, because we're not finishing Aqua today.
And you didn't finish that stream either.
Well, I did. I went back and finished. I didn't tell you this. I went back either this morning or last night. I honestly forget when I did it. Are you drunk?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll take care of it.
I am Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I am an alcoholic.
Nobody's gonna get that reference. That was a reference to Annie, a parody musical made by. Goodbye, Joshua. Thank you Thank you, Uber Eats driver.
Anytime I hear somebody beating on anything, in my head, the Sprite Cranberry ASMR comes to mind.
Okay, so here's the situation that we're staring down, right?
Sure.
I forgot what I was saying was I did go back, so I had difficulty during that stream. I could not beat the final Terranort fight. The principal reason being that one of his big moves, I kept killing myself because I was trying to dodge, but the move was launching me off the ground, which meant that I was mashing square so that I was thinking in my head, the moment that I'm able to dodge will be the moment that my second chance and once more are up. So I was just mashing it so that when I became vulnerable, I would dodge, right? As it turned out, that move was knocking me very slightly into the air, which was causing him to do a retaliation move that was negating it and got me killed.
Very nice.
So I turned that move off, went back, and beat the fight on my first try.
Ooh, good stuff.
Didn't do it on camera or anything like that, but I did do it. So we have that Terra Proud file. The
But
problem
there's no
is,
proof.
Whatever.
There's no proof you didn't cheat.
I don't care. The problem is that I do not have notes finished for Aqua, and even if I'd had notes finished for Aqua, we probably couldn't have finished it today anyway, because I decided, since I talked about, I threatened to learn speedrunning tech for Aqua.
You threatened.
I haven't had time, man. I've been really busy, okay? And we literally don't have time to push this back any more than we already have. So we gotta get a move on now, right?
Yep.
So I've looked up some speedrunning tech. A lot of it I already knew just from watching it previously. I looked up a couple of other specifics that I wanted to know, mostly for the early game, because early game on Proud as Aqua is lethal, as I will demonstrate shortly.
Okay.
So I looked up a couple of things just to make our lives a little bit simpler.
All right.
But the main thing is that since I haven't learned the speedrunning strats, and I'm not playing on critical at level 1, so a lot of the speedrunning strats don't matter anyway, because when you play crit on level 1, Aqua gets some buffs that make her damage output much better than completely useless. Since I haven't done that, I instead elected to do what we did for Chain of Memories, where I basically save scummed to certain floors, so that I could remake the deck every single time, and we could skip the dungeon crawling aspect and the grinding aspect.
Yeah, and the melding aspect as well.
Yeah. So here
saving 2.5 hours.
Here we're basically no melding, no grinding. I will stop to do. There are obviously some random encounters we have to do. I'll stop to do some to demonstrate a couple of things, but otherwise we'll be breezing past all of those challenges that lay before us.
The way God intended.
Exactly. So I was doing a lot of that today, because I got started on that last night after whatchamacallit, after the stream, but did not get as far as I wanted to get, so I was doing that more today, both before you got here and after you got here. It's been a long day, a lot has gotten done, but very little filming of Birth by Sleep has gotten done. In fact, there have been about 5 minutes of filming Birth by Sleep so far. Which isn't the worst that we've ever done in terms of getting together to film Birth by Sleep.
I suppose.
I'm trying to think, was it, because I know there were a couple of times we've gotten together to film and just decided we did not feel like it. But I feel like that was mostly for Kingdom Hearts 2. I feel like once we've started with Birth by Sleep, we've done at least a little something every time.
Yeah, probably.
Alrighty. So we're starting from the beginning with Aqua here, but we literally won't even be saving because we're going to be loading another save relatively soon. But we got to get started off. A kind young woman whose sense of right and wrong never wavers. She is nimble and a gifted mage.
Is that gonna come up, her senses of right and wrong?
Sure, why not?
Sure.
Well, it's that classic generic anime protagonist description of strong sense of justice.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
should have just been what it said.
That was the description for Sora in the instruction manual for Kingdom Hearts 1. A young man with a strong sense of justice. One's justice.
No.
And
yeah, that's just like, we don't really want to care about writing the character. Or it's like either that, or it's like, hey, write a description of this character. It's like, we're just gonna anime. We can't say anime protagonist.
We have to put something really broad down just to give people like a generic, general idea of who this person is, and it's a simple option. I remember this man.
Which one?
Both of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but no, it's more like I'm just thinking like the long establishing shot of Ericus is not necessary after he's been established twice already, you know what I mean? And we've had a whole movie starring him.
Nah, that's fine.
A test of, not a test of wills, but a test of heart. Nah. It's me. I'm Ericus.
Did not travel all this way to see our youngest prospects in
Yeah, why did he travel all this way, huh?
Because he was invited, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because Eric has reached out first. I don't know how he sent it. I don't know how he sent a message to a wandering Ronin who's just, you know, going around the galaxy. I don't think he had a forwarding address.
He used one of those light portals to throw a letter through it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Can you just open a portal to somebody even if you don't know where they are, as long as you just think of them hard enough?
Yeah, if you believe in your heart, it'll happen.
Well, in Harry Potter, like, it's almost a recurring joke that, like, if you send a letter with an owl who's trained to deliver letters, like, they can find somebody no matter where they are. Just like, it's...
All right. You gotta give them a piece of cloth so they can smell it?
No, you just put the address on the letter. They put the name of the recipient on the letter and give it to an owl, and the owl just knows where to go.
Like a magic owl or a regular owl?
They're normal owls. They've just been trained by wizards to deliver mail.
So they have received magical training, so it's
yes,
fine.
they've received magical training. They are not themselves magical, I don't think.
Wait, so couldn't they have just like mailed the bad guy a bomb?
It's possible, yeah.
Okay.
There are some moments where you'd think there are fugitives in this world. Just get a Muggle tracking device and attach it to the ankle of one of these owls. Send a letter to them, and it's fine.
Yeah.
There's a point in one of these books where Harry is writing letters to somebody who is on the run from the cops, and this person successfully receives his mail.
Oh no, that's real bad.
Oh no, the camera's inverted.
Oh no. Oh, okay, all right. I don't remember it doing that before, did it?
What, the zip zap zoom it does? Oh no, it does that all the time.
Great.
Wait, did it literally like vanish from existence for a second?
No, it was just going real fast.
Yeah, just the crazy zip zap zooping all over the map. No, it does that.
Cool.
It's prone to doing that.
Yeah. Everybody attacking and whiffing.
Well, these things are like, I joked during one of the streams, like this is one of like the hardest fight in the whole game because they're enemies that just...
They run.
Whenever they do attack, they just completely zone you out. They have no hit stun, so you land one hit on them and they just run away. There we go,
Yeah.
I did it. Maximum HP increase, learn Spellweaver.
Oh man, I saw a little bit of that earlier.
Yeah, Spellweaver isn't as impressive here as it is on Critical with the damage boost, where it can literally just... It's Critical level 1, where you get these little buffs, and you can just shred enemies. But I didn't want to do Critical on all 3 campaigns. It wasn't worth it, so whatever.
I really thought Xehanort's head was gone right there.
Yeah?
Like I thought the model just disappeared. But he's just bending over.
It's good to know that you're on top of these things, Joey, since
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not paying attention anymore. Since I've watched these scenes. I've watched these scenes about 12 times in the last, like, month. So... Because this is the 3rd time I've watched it with you. Like, the 4th time I've watched it with regards to my streams, because I've rewatched things. And then, of course, I streamed it earlier this year. Watched my streams before watching them for notes. And, of course, I've watched playthroughs of this game. So I just, like, this is all white noise to me now.
Man, by the time we finish the KH series on camera, you will be like a true expert. Like you will have put the hours in. You already have put the hours in.
Maybe, who knows?
We have deliberated and reached a decision. Terra, Aqua, you both performed commendably. However,
Yep.
only Aqua has shown the mark of mastery.
And he gets the big sad face.
Oh, big and sad.
Oh no. He is big and sad.
Everybody in this game is pretty sad. They just vary in terms of size.
That is all. Aqua,
Ven is a small, sad boy.
Master, you are entitled
Aqua's a
to
sad
see
girl.
much. Please wait here for further instruction.
This part, I've commented on this during the streams. It's pretty goofy to me that we call out Aqua. You're a master now, so you're entitled to certain knowledge. Guess what, Joey?
We don't get any of that knowledge.
We're gonna cut around the certain knowledge. It comes back later. We will hear it in an echoey flashback later in the game. It's just funny that if you do Aqua last, like this is like you're waiting to see things from each character's perspective, and then you don't get to see the scene that's been set up for you twice. Whatever. The Vanitas thing amuses me because it's such a thing where this was not a plot point ahead of time, like having this weird character who looked like an evil version of Sora.
Yeah.
Like the story was in development. The actor came in and said, "I'd like to play a villain," and then Nomura decided to try and rationalize the casting in universe as opposed to just letting the guy play a new character.
Yeah. I mean that's fine.
I mean, it's not
like,
a big deal.
It's cool. I like it, and it's like. Also, you were commenting before about how it's like I wasn't reacting at all to him being like that. That's just because it was like, oh, looks cool. But hey, look, new stuff.
Always be conscious of.
What?
Oh,
we didn't get to find out. You must always be conscious of something. That's your Keyblade Master. We'll never find out what that was. What was he gonna say?
What is that?
This is in a just.
Where's the certain knowledge kept? We hadn't seen a library or anything.
I don't know. This is another instance of like just screenwriting things. That key piece of information Ericus was gonna share. You must always be conscious of blank. Could be something that later in the game Aqua makes a mistake, and then like Ericus is like, I should have told you not to do this, right? But I was interrupted by Yen Sid Skyping me. I don't know. These are screenwriting things that don't happen because this game.
I don't know.
This is something that I've discovered a lot writing. I don't even need to be pausing it because we've watched this scene before.
Very well then.
But throughout taking screenwriting courses in college, and not even that so much, watching a lot of student films, one thing that really sets them apart from professional stuff is not the production value or the insistence upon opening with a shot of an alarm clock. One of the things that I notice the most that separates these things is that you can you don't always have really nice setups. Like you watch a movie and you have little little signposts throughout your first and second act that then get called back to or subverted in some way in Act 3. And these are things that you only discover when you're writing like a second or third or fourth draft. Students' films often don't get the time to write a third or fourth draft. Maybe not even a second. So you just don't get time to go back and do those things. These are a lot of the fun little details that you enjoy in movies, and it just requires time. You can't write them the first time you write it because you'll discover new and interesting things as you're writing it. You'll get to the third act and have cool ideas. And then we watch a lot of stuff and you're like, well, that was a cool moment, but it came out of nowhere. And then you watch other movies that are a bit more competently put together, and that was a cool moment that was set up clearly early on because the author went back through and knew they had that cool moment coming up, so they did something to prep the audience for it.
Right.
These are little things. This game often feels like it had one draft. I guess technically it had three because they had to write it for each character, but since they wrote one story for each character, they didn't have time to go back and rewrite each character. At this point, I do want to zero in on for a second.
You are tasked with striking down any who would upset the balance of light.
Not this bit. Coming up here in a second.
The unversed are no exception.
Come on, hit me with
I
it.
tried to pass this.
Never mind, I was wrong.
All right.
I guess I haven't watched the scene enough times. Expertise gone.
He says about, strike down anybody who upsets the balance of light and darkness, but he's all light himself, so I mean, he's not balanced.
He's like, we gotta kill all the darkness. I don't know, man.
Here we are. I need you two to get this situation under control.
We're just a glorified like pest extermination service.
No, it's so much more. We wouldn't be if the unversed weren't here. Right.
I don't know, man.
Right.
I just want more info.
Use these forbidden pathways on your first day out on the job.
I talked about this just yesterday on the stream, but it's like to reference Harry Potter again. It's very easy for an audience member to go, yeah, I want to be a wizard, and I know what, and then the Harry Potter books bother to fill you in on what being a wizard means in that context, in that world. You spend a lot of time with that idea of what it's going to look like when these kids learn more and what they'll be able to do. Whereas it's like, what can Aqua do now that she's a master that Terra couldn't do? What do these people do? Why do they live here? What's their job?
I mean, they all reach the same place, so not really anything.
Yeah, I know we've talked about this previously, but it's just, these are really simple things. I just wanted to know what these people do, but on this subject.
Order must be kept. You cannot tell anyone there are other worlds. Now go and fulfill your duty.
What happens if you go to it's like, oh, you know, don't know it, like, don't let anybody know you're from another world. What happens when you go to a world where everything is so much different?
Well, that's when you hypothetically turn into a lion cub or a swimming creature or a computer program. They don't do that. I guess they didn't go anywhere weird enough, right?
I guess.
I don't know. It's a difficult thing, but that's something I want to talk about. Did I talk about the concept of the prime directive during Ven's stuff?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
You touched on it.
Okay, maybe I already went through this. I'll discover in the edit if I've already talked about this, but I don't think I talked about it during Ven's stream. I have all this stuff written, Ven's playthrough stuff. I think I have all this written up. And if it sounds familiar to you, Joey, cut me off.
All right.
In Kingdom Hearts 1, we introduced this idea that space travelers can't let on where they're from, and they, quote, must not meddle in the affairs of other worlds. Ericus repeats these words at the beginning of Birth by Sleep, but they're kind of a complete waste of breath since our heroes proceed to meddle as much as possible.
Yeah, you literally go out of your way in a lot of situations, especially in Ven's quest for friends.
I want to be very clear, because during the streams, I think some people in the chat kind of misunderstood what I was getting at this point. Several people talked about the rule being dumb, and that it shouldn't have been in the series at all, right? That since Sora ignores it in Kingdom Hearts 1 as well, like there's just no point to even have it, period. But I disagree. You can introduce the rule and then have characters ignore it. Like, you can do that within a story. But the fact that they ignore the rule has to be the point of introducing the rule, right?
Yeah.
So in KH1, Donald and Goofy discuss the rule before they leave Disney Castle. A few hours later, on Wonderland, we confront the first characters we've really met in another world by entering the Queen's Court, where Alice is being tried for a crime she didn't commit. Sora wants to interfere, but Donald and Goofy say that it's a bad idea. When it's announced they're going to execute Alice, Sora leaps into action to intervene. After this, Sora and crew gladly interfere with the local business, and the rules don't come up again until Atlantica, which kicks off by explicitly reminding us of the rules. Sora has to hastily cover their butts when Ariel overhears that they aren't very confident swimmers, so he makes up a story about being from another part of the ocean with different waters, quotation marks. Not super convincing, and he kind of laughs awkwardly. They make a scene out of it. They make an interaction out of it that reminds us of these things. It shows itself in the story. A little while later, King Triton confronts Sora and the crew about being from another world and challenges that, as the key bearer, you must already know, one mustn't meddle in the affairs of other worlds. Triton implies that intergalactic travelers in the presence of the Keyblade can create problems. Here, Sora proves him wrong and manages to help out and save the day. So the rule is introduced in Kingdom Hearts 1 to tell us something about Sora and to, in the specific case of the Atlantica bit, create some extra conflict within that world and give it some more relevance to the overall plot of the story. We learn through all of these exchanges that Sora is willing to break what he perceives to be the dumb rules to help people, but he's also going to try and keep the secret about being from another planet if he doesn't have to talk about it. The inclusion of the rule tells us something about the world, because Triton's callback to it has some wide-reaching implications about what less honest people might do if they have a Keyblade. Mm-hmm. And it also tells us about our main character and what he's like and what makes him tick. In Birth by Sleep, our heroes are commanded not to break the Prime Directive. This is a Star Trek reference. The Prime Directive is don't interfere with the development of worlds that do not have space travel. Don't let them know that you're space travelers, right?
Yes.
They say, yes, master, when he tells them not to go and do the stuff, right? Then they proceed to break the Prime Directive immediately. All three of them do it. There's never a moment where they consider not doing it, nor is there ever a moment where they're chastised for breaking the Prime Directive by another character. So what gives? Why did you introduce the rules if they only mattered for the one scene in which they were mentioned? Honestly, even then, they didn't matter a whole lot because the scene would be identical if you cut the lines regarding the subject. Like him bringing up the don't meddle rules has nothing to do with all the other stuff going on in this scene. It's almost like a non sequitur. It's not related at all. Conversely, sorry, I skipped ahead a little bit. My bad. So why do Terra, Aqua, and Ven break the rule? Unlike Sora, some random kid who just got sucked into all of this and breaks the rules because he's trying to do the right thing and doesn't give a crap, these guys have been trained. They've been instructed in the ways of the Keyblade, and there are hard and fast rules that they're meant to follow. So why don't they? Why couldn't this be a source of friction? Perhaps Terra is trying to help people and only makes things worse, so when Aqua confronts him, it can be over breaking the rules, right?
Yeah.
Conversely, Terra or Ven could challenge Aqua. How can you be so heartless, just standing around and watching bad things happen like a good girl and following these dumb rules that are getting people in trouble? Maybe that could prompt Aqua to act a little bit differently in the back half of the game, so the confrontation could have more obvious consequences and weight to it. Like if Aqua is really neutral and doesn't participate in the first couple worlds, and then after Radiant Garden, she's like, okay, maybe I should, prove to them that I'm not this heartless, soulless jerk, and she gets more involved. I don't know. Just to make that fight in the middle of the game mean something beyond just being kind of a midway point to then do the same stuff we've been doing, with the exception of Ven, since his objective changes from nothing to nothing, but different nothings.
Yeah.
Or maybe Terra is the one who's following the rules to a T, and he's allowing bad things to happen. He's so worried about getting Ericus's approval that he's letting bad guys get away because he's afraid about meddling, about breaking the rules, and that's part of his path to the dark side. I don't know. But the point is, the Prime Directive shouldn't have even been featured in this story if the story didn't comment on it in some way. Have characters who follow it, and have some other characters who don't follow it. Have scenes where our characters debate breaking the rules internally before finally making a decision one way or the other. Have characters challenge the validity of the rules. If all of these characters follow the rules all of the time and never comment on them, then there is no need to introduce the rule in the first place. If all three characters constantly break the rules and never comment on it, then there is no reason to introduce the rule in the first place. Without some variation on the chart, then it is simply the norm of what the characters in this story do, and it's a waste of breath to either unnecessarily justify the behavior or it undermines the logic of the behavior to have him throw this out here at the beginning.
Yeah.
So introduce it as a source of conflict, not a meaningless lore detail that is then followed or broken arbitrarily. Like if the characters in Star Trek didn't have scenes where they debated should we follow the rules or not, if they just followed the rules, like most of the time in Star Trek they do follow the rules, and it's just about them being sad that they had to follow the rules because people are going to get hurt or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they break them, sometimes they don't, but the point is that no matter what they do, there's arguments and debate internally or externally. It's a source of tension within the episode.
Yes.
Yes, Terra, so afraid of losing. An obsession beckons the power. Fear leads to power. Obsession to darkness.
Because he
Darkness to
shows so
power.
much fear in his whole campaign.
I don't know, man.
Thank you, Master. I swear, I will not fail you again.
Master, I best be on my way.
Wait, Aqua. Before you depart, I have one other, well, call it a request of the utmost priority.
So an order from a superior officer.
Yeah.
Oh, Terra, this could be a second chance to show the mark of mastery, and I meant it. However, that flicker of darkness he displayed during the examination, I can sense it runs very deep.
Really?
If he were to,
He couldn't sense that before the test,
too much
though.
for him to handle, I want you to bring him back to me at once. It's for his own good. He could not bear to lose any of you to the darkness.
Of course. I would never let that happen.
And see, this is another moment that feels like a setup for something that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like this should have led to a scene where Aqua saw Terra shoot some darkness blip blap bloops, like when he shoots Braig.
Yeah, exactly.
And that
If
should have
she-
had her try to arrest him,
He's not
and he
supposed
runs away, and then you know what I mean?
no, if she would have just watched that happen. That was on the same world, wasn't it? That
Yes.
they all
Yes.
are at.
When I was going through the stream earlier, I saw somebody in chat left a message that I had not thought about, right?
Yeah.
What if after their little confrontation, right? And so this is a spoiler that this doesn't happen, but whatever. What if after Terra shot Braig, Aqua saw a guy with his eye shot out and like holding his face and like covered with the darkness stains, and she has her Keyblade out, and he's like, whoa, what? No, not another Keyblade. It's enough trouble for one day. And she's like, what? Somebody with a Keyblade shot you? And he's like, yeah, it was that Terra jerk. That would be like a thing that she could be mad about.
Yeah. Man, and yeah, same world, same timeline, like same time frame. Dadgum. That's a shame.
This needed another draft. This needed one more draft to just like connect all these different threads together.
No, he mustn't.
As it stands, it's a lot of, like, this whole game, its main problems is like a lot of setup without payoff, and payoff that wasn't set up. It just isn't, it isn't fluid.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pieces here that work just fine. It just,
Okay, so if she only has to touch one, why does she have two?
well, what if she loses one of her arms?
Okay, well what if they lose one of their arms?
Yeah, exactly, then they're in trouble. Aqua's smarter than them, because she's the girl.
All right. What is her vehicle?
I don't ask. I have no idea. Some kind of Star Fox crap.
All right. What's that new one, Starfield? Is that what that's? No, that's
Star Atlas?
Star Atlas. I was thinking of
no, it's Starlink Battle for Atlas.
Starlink, yeah. No, Starfield's that Bethesda trash that will
Never
come out
thought
one
I'd
day.
miss the food on Corneria.
That was such a good scene.
Just, it's Wolf being Wolf.
Yeah, and it makes a good man. I didn't get to. Oh yeah, Smash is out.
Yeah.
I didn't.
You didn't unlock Wolf yet?
No, I wanted. Oh man.
Well, on not your Switch.
Yeah, on not my Switch. In Brawl, he was my absolute main. Towards the later part, it was Lucas and then him. So I'm really curious to see how he feels now.
Yeah, I wonder how much he's gonna be changed up. He was. I mean, obviously Brawl was really slow. And Wolf was one of the, was a pretty heavy character.
Yeah, he was.
So if they're, obviously Smash 4 sped things up a lot, and from what it looks like, this game isn't necessarily speeding up much more than Smash 4 was, but everybody who was really, really slow in Brawl got sped up in 4, so I assume Wolf gets sped up a lot in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any gameplay of him. I never really thought to look up stuff of his. I've looked up gameplay of most characters in the new one, but not of him. I just never thought about it.
I hadn't looked up stuff previously because I figured I'd just do it.
Sure, that's fair.
But I don't have a Switch, so.
You were playing
Oh,
at
well.
a friend's house.
Yep.
All having a big old Smash party.
Yep. Sure was.
Tara, Ven ran away from home.
What?
Wow, so this just happens.
find
Like, I figured she was off doing
You have any
adventures
idea
before
why?
this.
Yeah, right? Like this, then Terra had a whole world before this, remember?
Yeah.
He had the whole getting possessed and stabbing Aurora and fighting the big monster, and then escorting Cinderella, and somehow he did all of that in the time that it took for Aqua to fly here.
No.
Oh well, it's not a big deal.
Actually, just before I left, he tried to tell me something.
And I blew him off like a true friend,
Yep.
I should have listened to what he had to say.
instead of just patting him on the head.
So, did you manage to locate Master Xehanort?
In the 5
No.
minutes that you've been
But
gone?
it seems he's looking for pure hearts, filled with light.
Pure hearts? Filled with
I don't like
light.
this effect.
I know, the depth of field effect, we talked
Well, I
about it
can
last
tell
time.
you-
It
Yeah,
doesn't,
but
it
I
doesn't
don't
look like
like
they're
it.
out of
Take
focus, it
it
looks like Vaseline just smeared all over the model.
I'll stay and see if I can find more clues.
Okay. The prince is in the ballroom ahead.
Looks real
He
good.
might have some answers.
Thanks.
Like, how does it, like, it also messes
Aqua.
with the exposure on them, it's weird.
You still have the same dream?
It seems to work okay for, like, their depth of field effects work okay for environments, just not for character
There's
models.
Yeah.
this girl here.
Like that
name is
wall looks
Cinderella.
totally fine.
She made me realize how powerful it is just to believe. No matter how impossible things seem, a powerful enough dream will always be enough to
Yeah,
light
this
the
could be a
darkness.
moment where she could be like, wait, you mess with people? Because, like, this is her first
If you
experience
see
out
her,
of the
give her my
world.
thanks.
Will do.
Man, it didn't take her. Well, I guess it did take her time, but it also, it's like
alright.
there was no struggle for her finding
You won't
him in
give
this
into it.
vast world.
Well, it was just, she happened to bump into him. But it's another, I guess especially with that little bit there where she's like, he'll be all right, he won't give into it. It's just a little moment of showing the deep trust, the feeling of, no, he'll be fine. Ericus is overreacting. It's all okay.
And there it begins.
So I want to
Both the music and the cartwheeling.
So Aqua's design, all these little like flaps that are hanging off of her, a little bit ridiculous. But one thing that I like about it, if I flip my camera around, One thing that I like about it is the kind of the shape that it winds up making with her dodge roll, because with her cartwheels, they kind of, you know, since they flap around as she runs around, right?
Yeah.
If you look at the way the cartwheel works, they kind of curve with it and make the animation look really nice and fluid. They kind of fill in the negative space.
Right.
You see what I mean?
I know what you're saying, yeah.
I like it.
Because
I think
otherwise it
looks
would
cool.
look kind of goofy because her legs don't go too far apart when she does it, so it doesn't really form an X shape.
Yeah.
There
are
she's she's a very Final Fantasy looking character.
Yes, very much so. There are chests in this room, but I'm not going to get them because I've already gotten them in a save file that will be loading shortly. I'm going to get this one just because, I guess.
Yay!
So, it's very noticeable with Aqua, so I'm going to show it. Watch this.
So, why is that? Oh? Is that used for some bullcrap?
No, it's not used for anything. It's just
it's just there?
It's just a weird thing about the qualities of the... I mean, we've already talked about how the animations in this game are super pre-canned and you can't cancel out of them. Turns out there's one thing in the game that can cancel most of these animations, and it's pausing, and when you pause, it really does cancel those animations. I don't know what causes that. It's just a weird little thing.
I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that does that. Any other games? That's really weird.
And as far as I know, it has no practical application.
That's a shame. I felt like you could probably do some weird like juggle canceling stuff.
So those were unversed eyes.
Yes.
I don't know why she felt them when she walked past three totally normal human beings, but I guess they're full of negative emotions.
There was something very wrong about them.
They're just
Okay.
three mean ladies. Oh, it wasn't Cinderella. I made a mistake. She's a completely different height and her hair is a completely different color.
And her outfit looks nothing like anything somebody would actually wear in this world.
One dropped by a lovely young lady, and I'll search far and wide to find the maiden to whom this belongs.
You will?
Of course, Your Highness. After all, you finally found someone whom you wish to marry. Upon hearing that happy news, your father, the king, has decreed that a quest shall begin immediately.
that shot lingered a little too long.
Yeah, whatever. It's a PSP game.
That's fine.
It's a PSP game. Where is he going? That's a dead end.
Lady Tremaine.
I guess he's gonna go sit in the... Hold on.
I'd better pay her a visit.
Why?
Dude.
Well, she felt
She felt the evil. She has to go just deal with
So since the
evil.
Unverse come from Sora-looking man,
Vanitas,
yeah. They hadn't fought the Unverse before.
She hasn't. She has not encountered an Unverse yet, and the Unverse have nothing to do with Lady Tremaine and her daughters.
Okay.
I don't know, dude.
Do they have? Wait a minute. So, if they come from Vanitas, the Unversed, how does any of them know anything about the Unversed?
Because they've been around just long enough for Yen. Like they don't. Like they literally found out about them 20 minutes ago when Erica said, "Hey, they're a problem." Now they've been wandering around the worlds for just long enough for Yensid to take notice and say these things are a problem. You should send your boys to go and do it.
Okay. I guess I'm just thinking it's like, I feel like in a realistic situation, what it would be is like if you left the world and got somewhere new, like a new world with all these wacky things, you would look at a bird and be like, is that an Unversed?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So
hard to say for sure.
Because there's never like a what is the Unversed? It's like, oh, they're creatures.
They're just
Negative.
things that we're gonna fight.
Yeah.
This is
Like Sora in KH1 got a taste of the Heartless, like off of his visions and the village and all that. Or not the village, the island.
Sure. It isn't the important thing. There's
No, it's
video
not.
game
That's
monsters
just-
you have to fight. You're just observing. Yeah, it's fine. I get it. I maintain that I think that this plot would have been a lot cleaner if it had just been like, hey, the Ansem experiments just started and the Heartless are starting to become a problem, or maybe and throughout the game it escalates to worlds getting blown up, right?
Yes.
And the whole crisis is these Heartless are coming out of nowhere and wiping the handful of Keyblade Masters that are active, so now these kids have to go and do something.
Yeah.
I can't get to that. I know I can't because I got it earlier. I can't stand on that.
Oh no.
How did I get to it then?
Hold the jump
No,
button.
I did it. I
Go higher.
know that I did it. I'm gonna do
Don't
it.
let your head hit the invisible roof.
Yep, it's still doing it. That invisible roof, it's there. God.
Did you juggle an enemy into it?
Nope, I just did a jump and a swing. I think the swing has the hitbox can count for picking these things up. There we go, I did it.
Hey.
Haha.
Weird. Wonder if that means your weapon is an extension of your hitbox from
Nah,
enemies.
it's impossible to say for sure.
I suppose.
Hold on. It doesn't matter because I've already gotten that sticker, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to demonstrate a couple of things really quickly here.
Okay.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'll heal myself. Or no, I didn't want to do that. Here. I just need to heal myself so I don't die instantly. Because I got to kill like one group of enemies before I can show you the one that I want. Hey guys, you know how we've talked a lot about the melee strings in this game being kind of like clunky and not like just whiffing a lot because there's not solid distance closing on them?
Yes.
This isn't the guys that I want to show. I mean, I guess you get to see a bit of Aqua's string, and that's fine. But this isn't the encounter that I want to be demonstrating to you guys right now. Let me go ahead and get that just for the sake of it. I'm gonna make this slightly faster.
Okay, cool. Haste really was a pretty significant looking improvement right there.
Yeah.
Not if that really helps in the long run.
I mean, it helps when you've got Ven on.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? In a game where enemies can just kind of break out of stun lock sometimes, it's nice to be able to hit them so fast that they can't recover. I used this a lot when we were doing low-level Terra stuff, if you'll recall.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, this room, I couldn't even clear it at my current level. I mean, no, that's not true. I did eventually manage to kill everything in it in one load. But I died like 20 times in this room to these things.
Okay. Are these the exploding
These are just
things?
little bunnies. They do a lot of damage.
Yeah. All right.
That wasn't really what I wanted to show, but whatever. Now, main thing is that they'll pop off really quickly when you hit them. Like even if they get stunned for a second, they recover extremely quickly and they'll attack. But watch my string.
No, I saw it hit you out of the...
No.
Oh.
They're so small that Aqua's final uppercut actually just whiffs on some small enemies.
Nice.
The finisher for her combo string just does not hit enemies of a certain size.
Great. Oh, and there's a lot in this room. It's not like this is.
This room is full of enemies. And most of these encounters have multiple spawns. Here's another group. If I killed those guys, more bunnies would spawn in. There's a group over here somewhere. There we go. There's absolutely no point in fighting these guys right now. The little purple guys, they give 1 point of experience each. And I need I think 100 or so to level up.
Great. Yeah, and you do not do much damage right now.
No, and we don't really have any good abilities. And while I could throw a potion in my deck, I only have potions. I don't have any cures right now to work with.
It's really weird that it's like this character is a skilled spellcaster, but she doesn't really have anything to show at the beginning of the game for it.
Not really.
Like I get it when it's like, oh, it's level 1 character, you gotta get going, but she's starting out with the same skill set as everybody else, despite being toted as a mage.
Now, unfortunately, we're already at. I have to jump back out for a save file change up.
Yeah.
It's not much. I leveled up twice and I adjusted my deck slightly for what we're about to do, and I'm not going to waste my time trying to fight my way through those guys. So.
Hey, this is quicker in the long run anyway. Now that you've done it, I don't know about overall time spent getting this prepped or not, but that was off camera.
It'll be better. It'll be better for the episodes that we're currently filming. Unfortunately, unlike in Chain of Memories, where we had the capability of soft resetting whenever we wanted to load a file, the only way to get to the title screen in this game is to go to a save point and say title screen. So, see, not much more.
Yeah, just a
level
little bit.
3, but it's slightly adjusted deck, and I'm very slightly stronger. This is still probably faster than the alternative of me even buying the stuff that I want and rearranging my deck. I don't know, I guess with load times, but oh well. It doesn't matter. Who cares? These loads are not going to be nearly this frequent from here on out. Like, they just happen to be that there was one right there at the beginning.
Yes.
We're going to have bigger gaps between most of them. You know, I say that. We're going to be cartwheeling our way through so much of this going so quickly that, I don't know, maybe not.
Only time will tell.
We'll find out soon enough, I suppose.
Come with us on a journey to see.
Come with me, on a journey with me, through the wonderland in my mind.
Okay, does she ever get, alright.
There you go.
Cool.
What were we gonna ask?
Does she ever get any faster movement abilities?
I'm pretty sure she gets, Oh yeah, that's her block,
Wait,
by
what?
the way. That's her neutral block.
Does it block omnidirectionally?
Yes, it does.
Cool.
I want to say that she gets a forward air slide like Terra's, but I could be wrong about that. I know for a fact she gets a double jump.
Yay.
That's not great for forward momentum, no. Alrighty. Okay, this scene, we're gonna have stuff to talk about here in this scene.
honor our humble home, my lord.
Quite so.
May I present my daughters, Grisella and Anastasia?
As I feared, there's darkness here.
What? What?
She's gonna go kill! Aqua, model student, Keyblade master, first world that she goes to, I sense darkness. Time for an assassination!
God.
Terra! Why are you so mean? Why did you do all of those evil things?
It's dark.
Anyway.
Darkness with light, my dear.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? It's dangerous to fight. What else do you fight it with?
This is exactly what we had a whole discussion about on stream.
Then I'm honored. But why would you advise me not to fight darkness with light?
Strong rays of sun create dark shadows. Sadly, Lady Tremaine and both her daughters are jealous of Cinderella's charm and beauty, qualities that appear to you as light. Jealousy is darkness. Light and dark go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other.
Yeah, but by your logic,
Then
that means that the only way to create
what should
nice
I do?
people is to be assholes to them, and that being kind and sharing
Creates
charity
more.
creates
Is the only
freeloaders,
thing that
assholes,
creates
and
it.
villains.
You to join little Jacques and help
What were you saying? Sorry.
No, that's that. I was saying that's the only way to create.
of my magic.
Nice people is to be horrible to them. I suppose we're looping back to Harry Potter again. I talked about that during the stream as well, I think. I want to say that I made jokes about, oh yeah, well, whatever. Harry Potter, they made him live under the cupboard and treated him horribly. That's why he's such a nice person. If we would all just if we were all just a little bit meaner, the world would be a better place.
Okay, but the thing is, she said don't do it, but she never gave a solution.
That's also the thing we talked about. I don't have a lot of notes on this because it's really obvious.
Yeah, it's like,
Don't fight the villainy with light.
Okay,
and
so
what do I
what should-
fight it with? Oh,
do I fight it with more darkness?
Oh, you.
Is it like an additive effect where it's like if I hit dark with dark, does it get stronger? Oh, okay, it's time to meddle in the affairs of worlds.
Yep. I love it. She's like, don't go in there and kill them. I'm going to give you an alternate solution.
I'm gonna just zip zop zoopity bop you in there. Oh, we're tiny.
Yeah, and only for a few seconds here. She doesn't get to explore the whole stage like Ven does. She basically just gets this one little mission. And this is where some of the speedrunning tech is going to appear.
Oh boy.
I'm going to screw it up, I'm sure, but I'll give it my best shot.
Are you okay?
Rindarelli, step muddy like a rinner rum. Gotta let her out. Gotta save Flynn.
Gotta let it.
Gotta let it out. Gotta let
Oh
it
yeah.
out. Gotta let it
So
out.
I got to play the Xbox exclusive as of right now, the MC5 trailer. Not trailer, gosh. Demo.
Demo. It's like Ven's.
I'm Aqua. But tell me how you know about Ven.
He was here literally just a few hours ago.
Back with the subtitles not
Where is he
matching.
now?
Looking for friend. Other friend.
I see. Then...
Once again, Aqua, like, Aqua, don't pull out that Keyblade and fight evil. She comes in here and Jacques is like, I gotta get Cinderella out of her room. She's like, okay, sword.
The next young lady, please.
We gotta hurry. So this is a whole sequence in the movie that's very, very tense, is Jacques and Gus trying to get this key up the massive, like, human staircase to Cinderella fast enough for her to intervene and try to slip her on.
Oh boy, is this escort time?
Yeah, escort time, yes.
Yeah.
And we're going to, since Aqua has no abilities and very low survivability, we're going to attempt to lighten our burden. It might not happen, but we'll give it our best shot.
All right.
And I'm not gonna be able to do this properly anyway, but I'll try to explain it to you, basically. So, Jacques walks forward along different RNG paths. Depending on the path that he takes, we get different rotations of enemies.
Okay.
I think my understanding is that on some of those rotations, literally none will spawn, as long as you don't kill all 3 of these enemies. So what we're gonna do is, we're going to...
Kill 2 and leave 1.
Crud, I don't know how that blizzard didn't hit him. That blizzard was supposed to, those 2 blizzards were supposed to kill those 2 guys at once, and it didn't work out that way. Here, I'm gonna push him into the corner.
Very nice.
And where's Jacques going? Jacques is taking the RNG safety path. He blew past, like, the worst encounters in the whole room to the easy stuff, so that was perfect. Thanks, Jacques.
Oh, and you've got Spellweaver on now.
Yes, so this is Aqua's, like, custom command style, like Terra's critical impact and whatever the heck Ven had, I don't remember.
And it seems like that's absolutely the best.
Her finisher is unquestionably, unrivaled the best of the bunch.
Because you can actually get to the enemies if they're not up to you as well.
Exactly.
Are you invincible during that?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes,
yeah, that
you
is
are.
really good then.
Let's go, Jacques, come on.
Come on, boy.
Great,
Yeah.
that was a great rotation. That was way easier than it. When I did this earlier, I died twice, and then one of the rotations I got was really difficult, but I just barely managed to get through it. That was super easy. See, the speedrunning strat's paying off.
Yeah.
Thanks, Aqua. There are no unversed in that room. No big things that he won't be able to climb up in that room. Also, people in the chat pointed out Aqua has a Keyblade.
Yeah.
Just go and unlock the door for Cinderella.
I thought that's why she brought the Keyblade out in the first place, was be like, all right, I'm going to unlock this.
This is a cute little scene.
Come on, hurry, Jack.
And she's dead.
Oh, well. Rest in peace.
Man, that's an uncomfortable position to land in from a long fall. She would have just broken both of her legs if she landed like that. This is uncomfortable.
Would it be all right if I tried on the glass slipper?
I met you at the palace. Unfortunately, you are not the young lady the prince is looking for.
But I am a girl. I should at least be given a chance to try it on.
Who are you? And what are you doing in my house?
Actual villain Aqua invades this woman's home.
Do something!
That girl does not live here.
I'm joking around, obviously.
I have
Oh,
only
yeah.
2 daughters. I believe we're finished here, Your Grace.
Regardless, she means no harm.
How would you know, though?
How
You
would
met
know
her,
for sure?
but...
She could be in here to do something very bad.
Hurry!
Why does she pronounce his name like that? Jack. It's Jacques.
Your Grace, please wait. May I try it on?
Pay no attention to her. She's just an imaginative child.
She's also a woman.
Yeah.
My orders were every maiden.
You should let her go first.
Thank you.
Strange woman. I guess Jacques probably filled her in.
Maybe.
Frenna Van, help a
Thank
Jacques.
you. For teaching Terra he needs to keep believing.
Oh,
Oh no, Aqua's really invested
What
in this
will I
drama.
do?
I guess she is. She wanted to come kill these people or
please
whatever,
don't
right?
worry. You see, I have the other slipper.
What?
There's a really good bit in I mentioned previously Goggle Bob, a guy who does like blog stuff on video games, and he wrote some really good pieces on Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
There's a really good bit in this where he kind of talks about
immediately. You will come with me.
How do I put this? Like to summarize it.
To.
Interesting subversion of gender roles, I guess you would say, where it's like it's at worst this scene is just a cute little scene of Aqua stalling so that Cinderella can get here, and at best it's like, hey, look, here's this movie from 50 years ago that we've inserted into a modern female character who's a warrior who should be covered in the viscera and blood and guts of her enemies at this point, and instead she's kind of fulfilling this other role to stall for time and stepping into this other kind of time period and other kind of character. It's just, I don't know. That scene's fun. It puts Aqua outside of her element, you know?
Yeah, it's neat.
She was attacked by a creature, a monster in the forest.
A monster?
A monster. Dun, 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 dun. This boss fight didn't give me too much trouble, so hopefully it won't give me too much trouble now. But I should... should I put on a potion just in case? Just for the purposes of...
Do you want to cover your own ass?
I don't think I even put a potion on for the fight before. I think I healed once using a D-Link. But, you know, I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah, may as
for the
well.
purposes of time. Please, you must save that girl. Don't let anything happen to her. Or I'll lose my job. They'll think I'm a bad dean. I don't know, something about him there. You have to help that girl, not because I care about her life, but because it's the king and the prince and I was sent to get her. Just for some reason I felt Craig Pelton in there. This scene is amazing. Oh look, she protected her with her body and she blocked those bombs.
Why didn't she use her magic shield?
What happens when you go against my wishes?
Well,
The darkness in their hearts overtook them.
What? No, Aqua, they exploded.
they're just dead. There's just this, like you see,
They're actually dead.
like an arm just flies by her.
I think it's so funny. Like the evil stepmother and the daughters are like, you know, they're jerks. They're petty and vain and selfish, but they're not like they're not like evil beast summoners or murderers, and they certainly didn't deserve to be killed in an explosion. I mean, I guess maybe they did. They were essentially keeping Cinderella hostage, so they were criminals. But you understand
I know
my
what
point.
you're saying, yes. This is an interesting boss. I like it.
Yeah, I didn't even comment on it. This is a cool design, right?
Yeah.
Like the spinning wheel one that Terra fought on Sleeping Beauty World is a bit like feels forced. This feels cool, just like the kind of the corrupted pumpkin carriage.
I like it.
You do it, Aqua. Oh sweet, I even avoided the his Kirby attack.
Nice.
He pulls you in.
Oh,
Oh no, never mind.
Oh no. Oh gosh, man, he
really wants me to come in. He really wants me to come in there. Ow.
Oh, oof.
Just in case, we're gonna go and top off because these potions don't matter. Since we're in Chain of Memories time warp dimension where none of my item usages even matter.
Oh yeah, you can like throw ethers on and everything, and it
yeah,
won't
if
matter.
I wanted to. There's no point filling my deck with ethers, but yes, that is true. I could do that if I was so inclined. Now would be a good time to have a shot lock, but I'm afraid I already burnt it earlier, so oh well. Is that gonna
also,
be?
how
That
did
actually did hit it. Wow.
How did they have? They were acting like they had control over this, but how?
Yeah, because that's why she had the sensation of like, oh, unversed, I can sense it. Just seeing these totally normal people. He Kirby'd me. I should take a picture of this for On.
I'll send that to you.
Yes, I can put that in the video. Joker's in Smash now, you guys.
Well,
Joker
he's
from
not,
Persona
but he's
5, well,
going.
he will be.
By the time this is out, he will.
By the time
probably.
this is out, he might be in Smash.
Oh man, Yeah, so
what a time to be alive.
Yeah, so the VGAs were recently, the Video Game Awards, and so like his announcement is fresh on our minds.
From what I understand, since I wasn't able to watch the event in full, the cringe was somewhat minimal this year.
Yeah, it really wasn't that bad.
Red Dead won too many awards.
It won too many awards. There wasn't.
I like Red Dead. It won too many awards.
There wasn't too much cringe. There was one part that could be considered cringy.
Which was?
Sonic Fox. But I don't know.
Oh, that's not. That's...
No, like some people were like, "Oh, this is cringy," but I was like, "No, like I don't know." It felt heartwarming.
He wasn't ready to be on that stage, and he was overwhelmed and doing his absolute best. It was endearing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's you see the same stuff at the Oscars when people who did not expect to win wind up there. Like it's totally fine.
I mean, he deserved it. I didn't I don't know too much about these esports folks, but man, does he deserve it.
I want to point this out because this is also a really cute scene. In the film Cinderella, after she tries on the glass slipper, it cuts straight to wedding, basically. It cuts to Prince Charming and Cinderella running down the front steps of the castle and getting into a carriage as the people throw rice, right?
Yes.
As the folks were throwing shoes and rice, as they say in the song. In this, we get a little extra scene that's really nice that I actually really appreciate. So we get Prince Charming pacing back and forth nervously. Cinderella shows up in her normal pauper clothes, and he still rushes to her and embraces her anyway.
That's good, neat. That's cool.
It's a really sweet scene. It's not, and it took some creative thinking on the part of the people making the game to put that there, and it worked. It's really sweet. It's a really cute little scene. It would have made it's something that would have made the film better.
Yeah.
Which I usually can't say about scenes that are stuck in Kingdom Hearts. And this music is also great. This track, I forget what it's called, but this is a great piece.
It's strange. The Master taught me darkness needs to be destroyed. But how? If not with light?
And?
You're too young to know.
What? That is an S-rank screenwriter. I don't want to explain this escape. You're too young to know. You'll find out someday, I'm sure. Tara said the exact same stuff to Ven earlier in the game. Those stars are just like you, Ven.
Oh my gosh.
We got Stroke of Midnight though, so with the crit up, that's actually going to improve our standard melee damage quite a bit.
Yahoo!
We'll do more critical damage on the next episode of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, where we'll go to the Snow White world, because that's next up on the list. Yeah, look forward to it in the next episode. It'll be out whenever.
Be out one day.
I don't know what the release schedule will be when this comes out. If it'll be on like the everyday or
I don't know.
Whatever.
I might be dead by the time this comes out.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
Or Joker could be in Smash, and we'll have just quit Kingdom Hearts because
Sans Undertale will be the next announced character.